Fellow gamers, this is Tone Loke and welcome to a reflection video on Rainbow Six Siege. On March 25th, I released a video called Rainbow Six Siege has a big problem. In this video, I said that Siege pretty much struggles with the new player experience, that it's difficult to have fun given the steep learning curve and the uneven playing field. I gotta admit though, right now, I was wrong about Siege and today I want to explain why. Getting good at Siege is difficult, and it requires you to break many obstacles from learning the mechanics to the growing operator pool and the maps, of course. Then you gotta overcome the uneven playing field. Depending on which version you buy, this is easier for some than others, by way of acquiring the large list of operators. I basically said that these reasons create some oppression for new players, ultimately making some of them quit in frustration. But I was wrong about what that actually does to the final game. I recently jumped back in to see if I could prove myself wrong that playing as a newbie is, in fact, the hellacious experience I painted it out to be in that video. As a creator, I'm always looking to self-correct, and I know that video pissed off quite a few people in the process. Although I stand by the message of that video, that the new player experience is still rough, I was wrong about what it does to the end title. It actually makes the game better. I finally realized that new players have to go through kind of a period of growing pains, if you will, not unlike some other challenging games like PUBG, a Cuphead, or a Battletoads if you want to reach far back into gaming's past, hard games that have bright internal reward systems. What I mean by this is that once you overcome a game's obstacles and stop being crappy at the game, the finish line is far more meaningful. I know this is kind of a cheesy example, but I feel like you could draw many parallels from Dark Souls to Siege. I fell in love with the difficulty of Dark Souls because of how good it makes you feel as you progress through various stages of the game. You fall into this kind of hypnosis, this weird dimension where you must get better at the game because you have to. If you don't, you literally cannot proceed in the game. And that's kind of how it is with Siege, although of course to a much less progressive extent. It's tough, and a lot of people are just not going to have the mental composure, I guess, to get better at the game over a long period of time, and just maybe because it was that reason alone, I gave up on Siege. Maybe it was because it's a multiplayer game and it really sucks to get killed by a real-life human being, but this is why this game is so good. I finally discovered the human element and the spirit of competition. Eventually, I found it through various hours of gameplay. I'll be the first to admit that I gave up on the game because I felt like I wasn't improving, but you know what, that's my fault, not the game's fault. I bought the dumb starter edition, so I handicapped myself in the initial period of my gameplay. I bought attachments for guns that I should not have bought when I should have been saving for operators, and I got mad at the game when I couldn't get any better. I literally got mad at the game. Siege was this rite of passage. It has this rite of passage that you must go through, something that I'm going through right now in the game. The game is incredibly enjoyable when you step back and stop being afraid or letting the game frustrate you to the point of wanting to quit. You have to get over that hurdle. For me, I think the issue I had with Siege for a long time was this feeling of constriction, and it affected my perception of my own progress. Everything about this game makes you feel really squeezed in. You're always hiding. You're crouching, you're ducking, you're crawling, the maps are tiny, the margin for error is literally zero, doorways are narrow in relation to your character model, time to kill is very quick, and the FOV just seems very narrow regardless if it is or not. As the clock ticks down each match, I felt caged in, and for a long time I let that compress down on me. But as I played all weekend long, I opened up a new window, and I let in the light I hadn't seen before in the game. I embraced learning, getting out there, taking chances, trying to get better. I appreciate the compact focus of the game now, and what the learning curve does to you over time when you just don't up and quit like I did. Sticking with it, it makes you appreciate the coordination required to be a good team. It makes you admire all the subtle details, the small things, like the way the sound is engineered with the footsteps and the spatial awareness, how the maps are designed. The attention to detail is incredible in this game, and the balance of the operator pool, which is not easy to do in a competitive online game with many characters. Outside of that, it really made me reflect on my own failure as a player, and this is something that I think a lot of people go through. Ask anyone who knows me, and they'll tell you I don't quit anything. I always see things to the end, and I finish what I start. When I quit Siege, a time where I was not good by the way, and I had not experienced any high-level matches, I didn't do the game justice. and I certainly should not have made it a point to pass judgment on just one portion of the game. The new player experience is tough because it wants to be tough. It's not for everyone, but I can tell that when you get really good at the game, it's going to be incredibly rewarding and still challenging. I can really see why people love this game so much and why the player base is growing so much. It's so addicting. There's such a high skill ceiling, and the competitive environment of each match is something you can't find anywhere else. As a gamer, I really like to play PUBG, but there's a lot of downtime, and I'm starting to play Siege more and more because it's much more focused, and I know I'll get more action in any given play session. Ubisoft really has done a lot right with this game. I mean, the launch of this game was pretty horrendous. Hackers were everywhere, no one was playing, and the optimization was really bad. I thought the game was doomed to fail immediately. Through whatever magic though, Ubisoft is really starting to come around, especially with this game. They pimped out AC Origins, they're trying to fix For Honor, they're continuing to support The Division. I really think they're improving as a publisher and as a video game maker too. A few years ago, I don't think many of us looked very fondly down on Ubisoft, but today I think that story is quite different. They're slowly turning into one of my favorite companies out there, and I'm excited to continue supporting Siege. It's just the process of becoming a good player. It's tough, but you gotta stick with it, and that's what I've learned playing Rainbow Six Siege in the past few days. Despite all the hoopla with how you buy the game and obtain operators, it deserves recognition as one of the best shooting games out there today. Yeah, it's still rough for a new player, but as long as you persevere, that journey is so worth it. If it wasn't so tough to learn everything, then the satisfaction of becoming a good player wouldn't be as strong now, would it? And I think that's what a good live video game should be. Something supported over time, engaging, constantly being updated and changed, an evolution of the core idea. There's a lot of garbage out there being released today with promises that we'll get more as time goes on. I don't know where you draw the line and how much we should trust companies on providing future content to live games, but Siege has done a great job encouraging people to enjoy this game. They've certainly made some mistakes. The game is not perfect, but I think as long as things are corrected fairly quickly and updates are rolled out consistently, I think we should be more than accepting to this new standard of making games. The proper model for a live game is an ongoing evolution. We're never going to go back to the time of the $60 release it's done box video game. So I think we should be encouraging the practices that do concurrent live gaming well, and I think Siege is the poster child for that right now. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's my opinion on Rainbow Six Siege as of today. I feel like I was a little bit hard on it earlier, and now that I've played the game more, I'm enjoying it tremendously. Can't wait to play it right when I get done editing this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave me your opinion on Rainbow Six Siege, go ahead and drop the comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, you can like it, or if you did not, you can also thumbs the video down as well. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Peace, love, and happiness. Till then.